Alright, I'm excited. This is one of my favorite temples of the game, the Shadow Temple. So right off the bat, even if you can somehow get here like unintentionally, not unintentionally, if you could get here using non-intended strats, you still really basically need the hookshot to be able to advance further. Here's a fun, come on man. Shadow will yield only to one with the Eye of Truth handed down in the Kakariko village. So check this out. See how there's skulls on all of these? But this one doesn't disappear. So we'll get to that in a bit. Here is this nice little mouth area. Now I have talked about, better read this right quick, only one who has sacred feet can cross the valley of the dead. Look at that one disappear. In Nintendo Power, it had a Coliseum in which, like, typically you could... One who gains the Eye of Truth will be able to see what is hidden in the darkness. Creepy. And I believe in the 3DS version, this has also been Shadow Temple. Here is gathered Hyrule's bloody history of greed and hatred. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of this has been toned down in the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time. And why look, it's another one, but oh, Link is all grown up, so it's not as creepy anymore. I got grabbed by two of them, man. Uh-oh. Oh, it bit me. Interesting. Do you think you being faster or stronger has anything to do with my muscles in this place? Interesting. What movie's that on? Alright, that was a good shot of all of the texturing of the skulls. Let me see if I can get closer here. See, it's all skulls. All of the walls, floors, ceilings, all toned down considerably. Oops. In L 3DS version. You got the hover boots. With these mysterious boots, you can hover above the ground. The downside, no traction. You can even use these to walk for short periods where there is no solid ground. Be brave and trust in the boots. So I accidentally did that slightly out of order, didn't I? Okay, so now make my beak face the skull of truth. The alternative is descent into the deep darkness. If we start moving this and try to walk out and it's not pointed toward the non-invisible one, we will actually fall through the ground to our death, so to speak. Although there are ways around that. One, hover boots. Oops, one more here. Two, see that wooden, whatchamacallit, torch? We can actually use, should have just pushed it around the other way. Check this out. Even had we done this wrong, we could use that to hookshot ourselves to safety. Barely. That one is a destructible wall, and this one is also a fake wall. Okay, so much for that. Oops. And now that the game has thrown in possibly invisible treasure chests, the compass is actually pretty invaluable for first-time players. Alright, check out this macabre statue, like double scythe sort of thing. Definitely upscaled from the, what was it, the mini dungeon of the ice cavern, where it was just like a spinning scythe on the ground. Almost. I don't know if you can roll under that or not. So here thus enters the entry. It's like, sadly, this dungeon is considerably easier, but then everything is considerably easier than the water temple, where you're trying to dodge various obstacles. Watch for the shadows of the monsters that hang from the ceiling. Yeah, I have not yet been stung, but if you are grabbed by the hand, you are carried back to the entrance of the temple. We're not that deep into it yet though, so at the same time, the deeper in the dungeon you are, it's more frustrating. Alright, check this out. You can't quite see because it's unfortunately foggy, but there's a lot of invisible stuff in this room. So there's a better shot. All of that is also invisible. So this is kind of the only area that would present a huge challenge if you were going to run this entire dungeon without using the Eye of Truth once. And mainly check this one out though. It is completely, so you could have a damaging scythe hitting you and you wouldn't even know what's causing the damage. Guess where the last one is? Go is in one direction, and I go the way that requires 3 turns. So check this out. Aha! Because no matter how fast you are, I'll show you, you will get caught under these and die. No way for us to vault up here. So today was the final announcement for Smash Bros. DLC, Sora being the last playable character on Smash Bros. Ultimate. Which is interesting because remember, Wii U time, how many DLC players got added to the fray? Like, for example, I know Bayonetta was one of the last ones. And then I'm like, I'm not gonna pay 60 or 50 bucks for the video game and then have to pay like 150 bucks for all of the DLC. That's ridiculous. Right there, this moving platform, to be able to hit if you were trying to do this without using the Mask or Eye of Truth. So notice, You can kind of gauge where it is if I were to just be shooting this out into the ether, and if it hits it soon, I know that it must be near. But otherwise, besides this jump right here, the rest of this entire temple can be easily beaten without using the Eye of Truth. So honestly, that wasn't a huge twisted challenge thought up by the diabolical minds of Nintendo Power. So in any event, we've gotten back to, okay, yeah, check out all the invisible stuff here. Melee, I believe it was, they added the Dark Link, which is really cool. It's like all dark Shadow Link, and then, of course, it has glowing red eyes. Really nice touch. I love to play as Shadow Link. However, by the time Melee kind of came out, oof, miss. Oof. So my question then is, okay, are we going to now get a version even on the Switch where it's actually complete, has all of the fighters from now all of the DLC? So one of my gamer friends said, yes, that will be called Smash Brothers Ultimate. I'm like, oh snap! Although, obviously, his uncle does not work at Nintendo, so he doesn't actually have insider information. You might have seen that little thing that flipped off. It was a key, so we actually have to go pick it up. Not too often that's how keys are spawned, is usually they're in, you know, treasure chests. Okay. Here we have super high fans, which will blow us back, so we have to progress slowly with these iron boots. Started, and probably collide with that slider thing too. Alright, good. So here, this we're fine because those things can't blow us away, but let's see where. Alright, see that third one? There's a secret there. The good news is it does respawn you where you last came out of, so thankfully this is a much closer thing than have to walk through that whole area once again, where you need to like blow up the ground. And this is also invisible. But only the key mattered there. Ah, yes. The bridge tolls. So here is that spot. We're actually reconnecting back to that first area. It's kind of like this bird beak. Oops. And then in the 3DS version, like, this is completely remodeled. It has like this beautiful grotesque skull at the bulkhead. Really cool looking model in the 3DS. Alright, unfortunately, I'm showing off how bad I am at this game because once we get to the end here, usually you can do this like 20 times faster. You get to the end, Bjorn, the ship is sinking! Abandoned ship! Get onto a safe platform! It's gone. Alright, notice here is a piece of broken statue, and over yonder we have another statue with bombs down there. But first, let's go this way. I love this. It's an empty room, so it's like a opposite of opposite truth. Everything is actually walls. Okay, so here is the most inconvenient spot to actually get grabbed by these little things. And we're going to go into... So we came out of east, we're going into south first. Guess what? An invisible hand. Whew. So there's one key. Alright, here's an amped up version of that puzzle. We now have to throw in bombs into all of these, and they're rotating. Ooh, rattled in. Yay, awesome. If only we didn't have max rupees like 10 million years ago. The cool way to do it is to use Din's fire to burn up. See, look at this. Uh-oh, what do I do? What do I do? But what you can... So this might be point number 2 where Din's fire actually is straight up required. Should be just fine on time here. We must hit these bombs with arrows. Make them explode, it will crash down the statue. Final room. Yes, this whole area is invisible as well, but I assure you this, because they're static. If you have this memorized, you could in fact do this without the Eye of Truth just fine. Alright. One final note, I believe that the 3DS version of this boss was slightly altered, not in the actual mechanic, but like in the way that it looks. But I love this boss fight. Phantom Shadow Beast Bongo Bongo. out of reach, baby. Let's go. Alright, so who is the Shadow Sage? Unpause when you're ready to see the reveal. Although actually Sheik has already told you who the Shadow Temple Sage is when she's like, oh, by the way, the Shadow Temple Sage is Impa. So if you were paying attention, the boy with the noble Zelda's ocarina, as I expected, you have come. I am Impa, one of the Sheikah. I am Princess Zelda's caretaker, and I am also the sage who guards the Shadow Temple. We Sheikah have served the royalty of Hyrule from generation to generation as attendants. However, on that day, 7 years ago, Ganondorf suddenly attacked and Hyrule Castle surrendered after a short time. Ganondorf's target was one of the keys to the Sacred Realm, the hidden treasure of the royal family, the Ocarina of Time. My duty bound me to take Zelda out of Ganondorf's reach. When last I saw you, as we made our escape from the castle, you were just a lad. Now I see that you have become a fine hero. There's nothing to worry about. The princess is safe now. Soon, you'll meet Princess Zelda face to face, and she will explain everything. That is when we, the 6 wise ones, will seal up the evil king and return peace to Hyrule. I have to stay here. You, go to the Princess Zelda's side and protect her on my behalf. Now I put my power, which should be helpful to you, into this medallion. Please, look out for the princess.